Hello, I am back with another video. This video, obviously from the title, is going to be based off my gift. They call it prophetic gift. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I'm still doing research on it and stuff like that, and still learning a lot about it. This is something kind of what I've been wanting to talk about, but it's kind of hard because, you know, you got a lot of people that, you know, might bash you or, you know, say bad things or whatever, because everybody doesn't believe in God, everybody doesn't believe in Jesus, you know, some people don't pray, some people are like more on to the other side. So I don't know. So let me just say, you know, I'm not doing this video to like you know, change people's mind. You are what you are, you believe in what you believe in. I believe in what I believe in because of my experiences and things like that. So we'll just get right into this video. So basically, I figured out that I had a gift not too long ago. I always knew that it was something, I just couldn't figure it out. So when I was younger, I used to have, well, not used to because I still do, dreams. Now these dreams weren't regular dreams, it was more like nightmares, and things used to happen to me. So basically, I can't even like pinpoint out what happened first. I'll just give you like different stories and stuff like that. So I remember, like for instance, one day I was knocked out on a couch, and I guess they called it sleep paralysis or something like that. But I used to get that a lot to where I would be asleep and then I wake up and then I can't move, I can't speak or anything like that. And for the longest, it would happen to me all the time, and I used to be like really scared. And after a while, I just kind of got used to it. And I know it's, people will probably be like, got used to it. Like, how do you get used to something like that? Like, something happens for a long time, you just kind of, I used to just be like, okay, well, whatever this is, like, okay, you got me still for a minute, I can't say much or whatever. But in my mind, I used to just pray. And, you know, that's what helped me get through it, because at first I didn't understand it. Then it started getting more into me having like nightmares, but these weren't like regular nightmares. It would be like dreams of like me like seeing the devil, or, you know, me praying, and things would be trying to attack me, but they weren't able to. And a couple of years ago, I started experiencing like crazy things. Now I remember I was at my best friend's house. I was knocked out in the bed, sleep, and I remember like, and this is the thing, like, I can't tell if these things were dreams or if these were real life things, because they were so real, I don't even know how to like explain them, you know? So I just remember I was knocked out sleep, and I had looked up and I seen this guy in like this all black drape robe, and he looked like the Grim Reaper, and it was just a skeleton face, and his hands were like, you know, out or whatever. And he came to like, he floated to like the bottom of the bed, and my feet were there, and he tried to grab them. But when he tried to grab my feet, all his fingers started to fall apart, and he backed up slowly, and then he just disappeared. Now, I don't know what that was about, but I felt like, you know, to me, it was just a sign of maybe spiritually being attacked or something. And, you know, I'm covered. I don't know. But still to this day, I never got an interpretation for, you know, that experience. Then maybe a couple days later after that, I experienced something else, and this was probably one of the most scariest things that I've experienced ever in my entire life. Um, it was just so weird. Like, I was sleeping again, and I was looking and like out the window because it didn't have like, it had curtains, but they were really light, so you can see right outside. You can see the moon, the stars, whatever. And just out of nowhere, I see this bright light, and it was so bright, it kind of, it would have reminded you as like a UFO. And the energy was just so strong, and like the light was just like beaming so bright into the room. And whatever it wasn't trying to like take my physical body. It was trying to like, it was like an inner thing, like my soul. Like, it was trying to take my inside. Like, I don't know how to explain it because it's just so hard, but it was just so strong, and it was trying so hard, but it couldn't. And once whatever it was couldn't do it, the light kind of went away and it left me alone. And that night I was like, okay, something's going on. Like, I don't know what this is, but something is like, I don't know. Then I started to question myself and everything. And then, you know, obviously I called my mom that night. She had prayed for me. I was able to go to sleep. And I started telling my best friend, I'm like, I don't know what the heck that was about. Like, it was just so scary. Like, so I started being around her more, and I was in the bed with her. Like, listen, I'm so scared. I don't even want to like sleep by myself. Like, shit, I'm sleeping with you. And that's just what it was for a while. And I would still have like, you know, the sleep paralysis, you know, during that time. But like I said, I was just used to it. So that really didn't bother me. It was the other stuff that I was experiencing. Then I kind of figured out more stuff because, again, the dreams. I remember the one time I was in the bed and I was asleep. And around this time, I was dealing with a guy that was really no good for me. It was just basically, you know, about like the sex between us. And that was really why I was just around, was because, you know, that's just what it was. And so I had a dream that I was laying on the bed, and this is exactly how I fell asleep. I was on the bed, I was knocked out asleep, and this dark shadow came into the room and started touching like all over my body, and it like laid on top of me, and we basically like had sex. And so, you know, I don't know why, but like I didn't stop or anything. Like, it just happened. And so when I had woke up, I was just like, for me, that was like a sign that, you know, the enemy knows your addictions, the enemy knows your weakness and things like that, and he will use that against you. And so basically I, you know, had a conversation with my mom, and I'm just like, I just took that as a sign that that's what my issue was. That's the reason why I was sticking around, and I need to get away, you know? So that was really like deep for me. And it just continued. Like, the dreams just kept continuing. And I just remember, you know, one day here when I first moved into this house, I was watching this, I wouldn't say it was like a documentary or anything like that, but it was like some type of thing on YouTube to where a guy was explaining how, he used to worship the devil and things like that, and that's what he grew up off, because of his family, or his father used to do the same thing. So basically that's what he was taught. And he met a Christian woman that was going to church all the time, and he didn't want to attend church with her because that's just not what he wanted to do. So basically he was explaining the things that he used to do, as far as like, at nighttime when they would go to sleep, he would go to sleep, he would have like a outer body experience, and he will go and do all types of like evil stuff at nighttime. And he said that it was easy to do it in his city because the city wasn't prayed up enough. They didn't really, I don't think that it wasn't that they didn't believe in God, but they just weren't prayed up, so it was easy for him to attack and to do things. And then he was saying how, like, he was on the couch one day, he ended up falling asleep, and in his dream he saw the devil, and he saw God. And basically the devil was like this bright red, evil looking, it kind of reminded me like of a sun. It was so dark, bright, you know what I mean? And he was like yelling at him and just telling him things to do or whatever, and God has stepped in and let him know, like, this is not you, like, you need to come with me and I would make you happy. And basically like just explaining, and he was just trying to figure out, because at that point in time he was scared. And so when he woke up from the dream, the next day he ended up going to church. He went into the church, and he said when he went into the church, immediately he fell to his knees and started, shouting out his sins and asking for forgiveness and things like that. And everybody kind of stood over him and prayed for him. And ever since, he's just been right. And, he's like, that's the best thing that has ever happened to him. And so, watching that, it sat on me for a minute. And I'm like, that's so crazy, because, a lot of people are wrong innocently, He didn't really know no better. He was doing what he seen and what he taught, and he thought that that was correct, and it wasn't, so it just sat on my mind, and I was just like, wow, like, it was just an amazing story to me. So basically that night I had went to sleep, and the same dream that he had, I started to have. But in the dream, I had told God, I'm like, listen, I'm not ready to experience this type of stuff. Like, this is just, I'm still learning me. And at the time I was more scared. So I'm like, no. And the dream immediately stopped. And I just prayed, and I'm like, whatever gift it is that I have, I don't want it. Like, take it away. I don't want to experience these kind of things. So it stopped for a while, and I started getting more into the Bible, and like watching motivational speeches, watching more of preachers and things like that, and started getting more into things like that. And I had prayed one day, and I'm like, I'm ready. Like, I got this. I'm ready for my gift, whatever it is that you have in store for me. Like, I know you have a plan for everyone, and you have a plan for me, and I'm just ready, So after that, things just started happening, and it was like dreams. Like, I would have a dream that, this is an example, because I'm not going to give you the exact dreams and things that I had, because some of the stuff is kind of personal, and then I don't want to put people's names out there or anything. So I would have a dream, and then literally the next day it would happen. And this happened about 3 times, and then I called my mom, and I'm like, listen, I've been having dreams, and the night of the dream, I'll have that dream, and then the next day it'll happen. And she's like, well, you know, when God gives you signs, you have to really pay attention. So at this point, I'm just like, you know, trying to figure it out. And I'm like, this is my gift. Like, I am learning how to, you know, try to connect with people and talk to them, and I guess bring awareness to them for whatever is going to happen. But it's just hard because, you know, people think that you're crazy and whatnot. So I don't know. But then there will be times where these people, I don't know some of these people, you know, I probably seen them one time before, or, you know, heard of like the things that they do, not saying anything bad or whatever, but, you know, I'll just be in my head, and this person will pop up, and then like I'll be having a conversation with myself, and like, for instance, no names or anything, but the one day I was on my way to work, and for some reason this lady popped up in my head, and I don't know her. We probably spoke one time, but I don't know her. I don't know really much anything about her, but besides that, you know, she does hair. And for some reason, it was just like a conversation with myself, and I'm like, damn, like, you know, she has to be careful with, you know, some of the things that she's doing, because, you know, something's gonna happen. Like, and I said everything that was gonna happen to myself. And then when I get to the shop, literally an hour later, somebody came in there and said exactly what I told myself. And it was the person that popped up in my head. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my God, like, something's up. Like, I know I have a gift now. So I called my mom, and it would be always something constantly happen. Like, this stuff will pop up in my head, and then it'll happen. And I'm just like, wow, like, dreams will happen. It'll happen, you know, the next day. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. I met this lady the other day, very, very nice. And I guess she has the same gift that I have. And, you know, I started speaking to her as I'm doing her hair. And she asked me, she's like, you have a gift. You are, if I'm saying it right, prophetic dreamer. And I'm like, yeah. How did you know? And she said, because God had spoke to me and told me that. And she's like, but you're not a regular dreamer. You're more like on the spiritual side, like you can see things. And I'm like, yeah. So I started explaining to her, you know, my experiences and the things that I went through, and she was like, definitely. So, you know, I'm trying to get connected more with people so that I can learn my gift, how to use it, how to help people. And that's just really, you know, where I'm moving forward to, is to be able to help people. And, you know, I want to be able to speak to people. I want to be able to preach and things like that. So, you know, with me doing hair and meeting people, like, this is just perfect for me. So yeah, that's basically it. I can't really think of everything off the top of my head, but this is just something I've been wanting to share for a while. And at this point, I really don't care if people judge me or not. It is just what it is. And, you know, I just want to be able to help people. And, you know, if you guys have, you know, these things, or if you guys have signs and you think that you might have a gift or anything, share. Or if you're watching this video, comment and let me know. I want to hear your experiences. You know, if you have any questions or anything. I'm not an expert. Like I said, I'm learning, but, you know, comment below. Make sure you guys subscribe and like this video, and I will try to be back with more. We'll just go through this spiritual journey together, and, you know, and let's stay prayed up. But thank you for watching this video, and I will be back with another one soon. And yep, that's it. Bye.